In this video, I'm standing here with Chris from Crypto. We will be discussing Elon Musk buying Bitcoin and also a huge price prediction from Chris from Crypto towards the end of this video. And if you think that sounds interesting, then I think you should definitely see this video. Hello guys and welcome to the moon. My name is Carl and I'm going to bring you this cryptocurrency video and this collaboration with Chris from Crypto. And now to the most important question of today. How are you doing today, Conrad?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me on the Moon channel. Very happy to be here to talk to one of the most sophisticated communities in the world and about my most favorite topic in the world, Bitcoin.
Perfect. Yeah, Chris has an amazing channel, link in the pinned comment and description. So we have incredible content today. We were sitting talking about all these crypto things that are going on right now.
Like always.
Like every single conversation we have. And we want to talk about the fact that when I went on Twitter, I saw a post of someone showing that the top 8 subreddits right now, the top 8 trending subreddits are all about investing, trading or investing and cryptocurrency. So it seems like the whole world right now is in a frenzy. And what we were talking about is that this is maybe similar to other stock market frenzies back in, for example, 1929, before the big Great Depression, and also back in the real estate crisis of or the real estate boom in 2008. And like, what do you think? Right now we see the stock market and Bitcoin being at all-time highs. Is this good or is this bad? And what do you think about this?
Well, I have to say I'm a little bit crossroads here, because on the one hand I see so many people, like people from my school and like neighbors, starting to invest in stocks or stonks or like in Bitcoin, and of course it makes me a little bit cautious. But on the other hand, this is something you said before, it's 1% invested in Bitcoin, right? For us it seems so much because it's growing quickly, but on the other hand, 99% of the people are not invested in Bitcoin yet. They are short on Bitcoin. Recently we had Elon Musk talking about Bitcoin and making very crazy statements there. So on the balance of probabilities, I would say it's still rather more good than bad, and I'm still very, very bullish for this year. The immediate short term is very unpredictable, but I think it's just a normal consequence of this money printing and the massive asset inflation which is going on.
I agree. Do you think that Bitcoin is having an explosive rally because stocks are at all-time highs, or do you think that the money printing, it's like, what do you think is the reason that we're seeing both at all-time highs? Yeah. And do you think that if stocks go down, we will see Bitcoin go down?
So I saw actually that the correlation between stocks and Bitcoin faded a little bit away over time. And I wouldn't say that Bitcoin is pumping because of stocks. I would say Bitcoin and stocks are pumping because of the monetary policy and what's happening over there. So we had like 25% inflation of the US dollar currency last year. Now that Biden seemingly won, he was putting out like 40 legislative orders. He will push the Federal Reserve probably even more to print more. So I don't see this ending anytime soon, as long as the economic crisis is not ending soon.
So if, let's say they didn't print anything, if they didn't print any dollars back in 2020, where would Bitcoin be then? Because now we're above 30,000, but do you think that, because you said that the money printing has helped Bitcoin up, where would we be without the money printing? What do you think?
For sure lower. I'm very sure that we would be lower.
I think so too, a little bit lower.
Because in the end of the day, Bitcoin will increase in purchasing power, but if the purchasing power decreases, Bitcoin has to increase more in total US dollar value. So we would be higher for sure, but we wouldn't be that high, I think.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that it's interesting to see that people are jumping into stocks. I mean, the stock market is going up how much per like annually now? It's
more than 20% on average, right? And it was like 5% just a few years ago.
Yeah. So this means that it's extremely high inflation, because you guys know we've been talking a lot about on my channel here that inflation, you should calculate, of course, all assets, not only a certain type of assets. So they don't calculate stocks, they don't calculate real estate, but these assets are completely exploding, and even old vintage cars and rare paintings, and there are so many assets that are completely exploding because of the fact that people are getting pushed into these scarce assets because of the money printing. So I think it's interesting to see that the inflation is so high, and I think that, like we talked about, this creates demand for Bitcoin, of course, because Bitcoin cannot be printed. And this, of course, also leads me to the important question, or the interesting question that I think everyone wants to know. Where's the price going? Because I don't think we're gonna see anyone stopping the money printing anytime soon. So where are you seeing the Bitcoin price, let's say by the end of this year, and maybe a little bit shorter term, like maybe half year?
Let me make a 2-minute rant on that, because I have a lot of things to share, and I know that most of you guys already know that, but I will put a few things together, and I can promise you after this rant you will be extremely pumped about Bitcoin, because just as you said, Bitcoin is much scarcer than paintings or so. Usually you have you have supply, demand, and the price, right? So when the demand for something increases, of course, if people need a safe haven or whatever reasons there might be, for example, the demand for watches increase. They just produce more. They can technically produce more. The demand for gold increases as well. Then the price for gold will increase, but the miners would be incentivized to invest more into research, for example, to make it more efficient, or even into mining equipment. The matter of fact is, if you invest more into gold mining, you mine more gold in the end, because it's just more gold miners being incentivized and this gap closes. If you, however, invest more into Bitcoin mining, you make the network more secure, the difficulty increases with the hash rate increasing, but there are not more Bitcoin mined. So a higher demand in Bitcoin will not increase the supply. It's the only asset where it will not increase the supply. So the only thing which will regulate that and which can make Bitcoin available for all the additional demand is the price. It's the only point of regulation. Usually it is the supply and the price. In this case, it's only the price. And this will have an explosive effect actually on the Bitcoin price, not only in the long run, I'm very sure also within this year. This kind of brings me to the question you actually asked, and here I want to implement a few things to make it a little bit more reliable, because my price prediction is actually quite insane. But it's coming from the fact that we have not only 45 million millionaires in the world, we have 40 billion billionaires, and only 40 are invested in Bitcoin. I think Elon Musk is invested. I think 4,000. 4,000, I don't know what I said, 4,000 approximately.
I thought you said 40 billion.
No, so sorry, 4,000, sorry, 4,000 billionaires, maybe 40 are officially invested. And if you think about that, the frequency of additional billionaires and billion-dollar institutions is getting shorter and shorter, with more billionaires joining, because no one wants to be last on the train, right? Then all of these people joining in, and there's just a limited supply of Bitcoin. Well, then you have all the retail investors, then you have the pension funds and so on. And we see it already happening. Listen to what Elon Musk said, right? He is serious about Bitcoin. Then this brings me to a price prediction which is, as of right now, maybe a little bit unbelievable, but I think we can easily reach prices above 200,000 US dollars, maybe even towards the 300,000. I made a very accurate, like a very precise one on my channel, 275,000 US dollars for one Bitcoin.
That's a very, very good target. I think it's very similar to what I've been talking about on my channel. I think that 200,000, 300,000 is actually reasonable because of the money printing, because of the fundamentals, and like you talked about, this scarcity. I think it's so interesting to see that, yeah, you cannot create more Bitcoin. If the price goes up, it doesn't matter. The supply doesn't change, and this is what I usually call on my channel absolute scarcity, because, like you said, there's nothing else that has this. Bitcoin is the only asset in the universe that is absolutely scarce, because this can only happen in a digital world. It's only there where you can put boundaries on an asset like this, because even the most scarce, like what's the other most scarce things we can have? Like maybe diamonds or whatever. But
or
you can all, yeah. But like diamonds, like even the rarest diamond in the world, like you can always find another one of these diamonds somewhere. You never know if you can find more of it, and on an asteroid maybe. So I think that, yeah, gold is the perfect example. You can always mine more gold. You have gold in the oceans, you have gold in the space, like everywhere.
Asteroids,
Yeah. Elon Musk is gonna go up and take it down for us soon. What do you think?
He will destroy the gold, the gold market, and he probably just invested in Bitcoin. So maybe there's a secret plan behind it. Who knows?
Yeah. Do you think he's actually gonna be successful mining asteroids for gold?
This I don't know, but I think many people didn't think that he will sell flamethrowers. Many people think that he will not have rockets landing back on Earth, or will make the whole world electromobile. So, like, I think he's surprised us a few times. So let's wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Elon Musk, actually, I know that you posted on Twitter a small little video of Elon Musk talking about Bitcoin. Now, do you think Elon Musk has bought Bitcoin? Is he going to buy Bitcoin, or what do you think is the story here?
I actually think he has. He didn't say that specifically, but over on this on my YouTube video, where I actually took this 2-minute snippet from the Twitter video, which actually went viral. It got like 150,000 views in 3 hours, completely crazy. I took all of these words and I tried to cold read what he was saying. Some things he was saying even were not like with the subtext, they were very clear. He said that he is a supporter of Bitcoin now. With Dogecoin he was making more or less jokes. With Bitcoin he is not. He said, I think Bitcoin is a very good thing. He said Bitcoin will reach mainstream adoption from the conservative financials in the world. These are all things he said. But then he also said, and that was very interesting, to come back to your question, he said, I was very late to the party. I should have bought 8 years ago. And then he said, he waited for like 5, 6, 7 seconds. He rambled a little bit and then he said, well, I am a little bit late to the party, but now I'm still a supporter of Bitcoin. Before he said, I'm late to the party, I didn't buy, and now he said, now I am late to the party and I am a supporter. For me, it seems like he bought Bitcoin, he bought in, especially keeping in mind that he had this conversation with Michael Saylor just like a month ago or so, also about Bitcoin. So if you ask me, I would say he bought.
All right, guys, if you believe Chris, leave a thumbs up down below. Let's see if we can push this video to at least 10,000 likes, at least. And if you think that Elon Musk actually bought Bitcoin, also leave a comment down below. Personally, I think it's actually very possible. I mean, he's a smart man. Let's just agree this. He's extremely, extremely intelligent. And Bitcoin is so revolutionary and so fantastic that it only makes sense that he would realize that also, just like us, right?
Yep.
So if anyone, then I think Elon Musk would realize how important Bitcoin is. And he actually, like you said, he told us he supports Bitcoin, but I think he probably bought some Bitcoin. I mean, he actually did tell us a few months ago that he had 0.25 Bitcoin.
I think it's a couple of thousand maybe now.
Yeah, maybe a couple of thousand. Yeah, that would
Let's
be
wait
nice.
and see.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Chris, very nice to have you on the channel. Like I said, link down below. Go over and subscribe and click bell button on Chris's channel. And if you want more of these collabs in the future, leave a thumbs up and a comment. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.